It's totally out of control. We need to close down in Florida. We've asked the governor to do that, and we've even asked him to do the simplest thing, and that is to require masks for everyone. He has not done that.
Imagine you were an alien coming to the planet Earth and looking around, looking at the scientific data, going from various place to place and looking to see who's wearing masks. You would be totally astounded, puzzled, amazed. You'd wonder, what is going on here? How could it be that something as basic as a public health action that we have very strong evidence can help seems to attach to people's political party? We can turn this around. And we don't have to wait for some sort of serious high-level edict to say so. This just makes common sense. At this point, it just ought to be something we all do.
We need to wear a mask. That example needs to be set by our national leadership. But let me go ahead and make the point that Congress needs to work together. What I didn't hear before was that the Democratic Congress wants to work with the Republican Senate to come up with a compromise position that will help the states in terms of testing, in education, and they can do that if they work together.
The president wants to take the COVID-19 money out of the HEROES Act that we passed in May, which makes no sense at all. So we're going back this week with the expectation that there are enough members of Congress that care about their communities and care about all of our communities, and that they will help us pass the HEROES Act.
Schools have to open. Young people have to go to school. And there's problems when you don't go to school, too. And there's going to be a funding problem because we're not going to fund.
Congress needs to continue to act as the conscience of this nation and to lead in the absence of this Trump administration. We need to pass the HEROES Act, which is sitting on the desk of Mitch McConnell, which makes massive federal investments to support the reopening of our schools when it is safe and this virus is under control.
You knew Congressman John Lewis.
Most importantly, he called on Congress to put ego and ideology aside. And that's one of the biggest challenges we're seeing right now with this pandemic.
Are you guys on the task force recommending less money to states for testing and contact tracing?
There's always this back and forth between White House and Congress when it comes to appropriations process. And apparently the opening bid from the White House was a bit surprising, certainly for many of us who were certainly hoping to see more in the way of support. But this is one of those things that will play out over the course of the coming days. Let's see where it ends up.